Hello gamers, SoftKitty99 on the Creative Builds world, and we're back in our town centre and I want to add to my town. I thought today I'd like to add a tea shop or coffee shop, and I want to build it on the edge of the square opposite the town hall and next to my church. So I've laid out the rough floor plan that I want to start with, and I want to make this a medieval building that's been turned into a tea shop. You're going to need a plot which is 9 by 17 blocks in total, and I want to start with the frame in the dark oak wood logs and the wool. You can of course substitute the wool for something like bone because that will look quite nice. So remember 9 by 17. So I'm going to put mine a little bit away from the corner, but not by far. Let's pick that up and pop my dark wood log as my starting block. So this is the front corner. I then want to swap to the white wool and place 7 blocks diagonally one behind where the log is, right there. So you can just see exactly what I mean there. And in line with that, I want to extend that across to make this 7 in total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I then want to use the dark oak wood and put that diagonally 1 in front. Now we can place 1 wool block behind that log, and then we want to extend diagonally across by another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then take the oak log and put it diagonally across in the corner, so that you've got 2 sections of white which are 7 blocks long that you can see between the dark oak wood logs. If we go to the side of the building, again with our white wool, starting with our first block which is there, which is diagonally in, I want to place 7 blocks in total across the building, including this first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to put the wood diagonally across the corner. Let's come in behind this, and we want to have 7 blocks across, including this first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you're getting the idea here. Put the wood diagonally, place a block behind the wood so that we have full walls inside the building, and then we want 7 white between the logs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wood diagonally on the corner, and our white wool should join up here, which should be 7 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the end one is 7. So there you've got a rectangular structure, a very simple basic structure for your building, and that is what you're looking for. We're then going to want to raise the walls and the logs 4 in total in height. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the wood wants to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the wood wants to go across the building to form the structure around the whole of the building. So you're forming a square structure with the logs in each section. The logs then are the support for the building structure, and they look nice and solid, so it actually does look like a solid long-term building. And since it's built in this medieval style, it looks like the building has been here for a long time. So we've got the frame of our house, and then we want to bring our wool up to the same height across the structure to form an interior rectangular shape. which I'm sure you can all see what I'm doing. We want to do that all the way around the structure, and I'll be back once I've finished that. And here we are back with the walls filled in, and we have our basic medieval structure with the log frame and the white walls. Now, if this is going to be a shop, we are going to want a door to get in. I'm going to choose for myself to use the place closest to the square, and right in the centre I'm going to knock out 2 squares for the door. I'm going to replace the gap underneath with the oak wood planks, and we're going to replace the floor inside the shop with the oak wood. So I'm going to use the fill command to make that a little bit quicker. Just to save that little bit of time. Planks, and 0 is the oak, and there we have our floor. I'm going to want our door. I'm going to use the spruce door because I think it looks quite medieval, and I'm going to put it flat in line with the front of the building, but I'm going to want to add a little porch, and I think I'm going to do that by just putting the white blocks like so. So you've got 2 up in front of the door, and then I'm going to put, if I can get it to work properly, I'm going to place the blocks yes, trying to decide how to make the log work in front of the door. I want it to be in that orientation, so it's a little bit difficult to get the log to sit exactly where you want it to, but that's how I want it to be. And I'm going to want to put a plank into the floor as an entryway. I want this to look like a solid old style building and entrance, and I want to make it a thatched roofed cottage. So what I'm going to want to do is to place the hay bales coming out of the structure like so, so that we have the old style feel to the building, just like that. And that there is our entranceway into our shop. Now the rest of the building, of course, is going to need to have some form of light coming in, but being an older style building, they tended not to have lots of windows and the windows to be fairly small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place 2 windows, which are 2 tall, in basically in the centre. So you've got 2 blocks of wool, 1 window, block of wool, a window, and 2 blocks of wool. And I'm going to do the same on the back, but I'm going to put them in a different I want to put them in a different place. I don't want to put them here, because opposite where the windows are in the front, I'm going to want a staircase leading upstairs. So we don't want the windows in that part of the wall. We want the windows opposite to where the door is. I don't want them to be in the same place. So 2 blocks of wool, a window, 1 block of wool, a window, 2 blocks of wool left, like that. So we've not got lots and lots of windows, just a small amount to let the light in, because the medieval buildings always had small amounts of windows and not a lot not a lot of glass in them, because glass was very expensive back then. Now we're going to want stairs to lead up to the upper part of the building, so I want to use the oak wood stairs to do that. I'm going to want there to be a couple of blocks at the end for... Right, so if you leave 1, 2, 3 blocks gap and then start with the stairs at the top of the wall and bring them down, just like that. And then want to add the white wool at the side of the stairs all the way across to the same height as the walls at the side of the building, so that it's partitioned off. Now you could come down here and add a door so that you can make under the stairs into a storeroom. What we'll do is we'll add a light inside there, and we'll add a couple of lights on the wall there as well. And we will put our door for our storeroom just there. Now the next thing that we will want to do is to add in the floor for upstairs, and the floor will be in line with where we have our frame on the outside of our building. So we will want to fill in this whole area with the oak wood to form a floor, and from there we can add our next layer of the building. Now where the stairs are here, you're going to want one more stair to make it up to the level of where the next floor is. So we just want to add that in there, and then our floor can come across the top of here, and then we can fill in the rest of our upstairs flooring. And upstairs here we're going to make this into the main seating area for the tea room shop when it's open. And downstairs of course there'll be a counter and a couple of chairs and seats, but there won't be a lot of space downstairs for that. As you can see, this is what we've got so far. So if we head back downstairs, let's think about what we want our counter space area to look like. I think we're going to want a little bit more light in there so that we can see clearly while we're building. So what I want to do is to think, what will we need inside a tea shop? We're going to want a furnace for cooking small meals and maybe baked goods. We're going to need a chest to put things in. We are going to want some form of counter. We don't want that to be in a different colour. Let's use the dark oak for that. And we're going to want something to look like maybe a coffee making urn or something. So the closest thing I think in the game is a brewing stand. And we will of course want something for people to eat. So one of the very few things we can actually put out will be a cake. And if we look at the oak woods, let's use the dark oak for our chairs, and let's use the dark fence and some dark carpet to form the top of our tables. And let's see about making that. Oh, one more thing. I think what if we have a stone stair, and we can put that out to look like a cash register for the staff. So if we put in a couple of furnaces and then a couple of places for the staff to put things. And we can put the cake on the front here, and we can put the brewing stand on the back to make it look like there are places for making the tea and coffee, and a cash register for the staff to take the money. So your customers will come in your main door, they'll come here, they'll order their cake, their tea, their coffee, they'll pay for it here with the staff, and then they can decide whether they're going to sit downstairs or go upstairs and sit up there. And we'll want somewhere for them to sit. Now downstairs obviously isn't very large, so let's think about how we're going to do this. I think the best thing to do is to put a couple of tables just against the wall. Is that too far forward? Just, yes, that's going to work. So we've put in a couple of tables like this, and we can make the tables just using fence and a piece of carpet. I quite like that idea. Yes, I like that. That works quite well. And you've still got plenty of space for people to walk around the building. And that there is the downstairs for my coffee shop. And when we come back in the next episode, we'll build the upstairs. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy gaming!